Hi, I'm Rob Batton. I'm a senior at Country Day. I play football and I run track and throw shot put. I'm incredibly honored to have been put forward by my teachers and coaches, and to even be in the same conversation as Davey O'Brien is incredible because I feel like he had obviously a successful life, but a life filled with meaning as well.
When I think about Rob as a football player, first thing that comes to mind is the effort that he puts in. He made a play this year, was as good a football player as I've seen.
In my recommendation letter on Rob, I mentioned a play that Rob made late in the year. We were playing Oak Ridge. We scored first, they get the ball, they're driving, they break a long run. And this kid's running down the sideline untouched. And Rob, with a backside defensive tackle, runs and makes the play at the 10-yard line. That kid's faster than Rob, but it meant a lot more to Rob. And that's a great example of who Rob Batton is.
Well, he was elected by his teammates as a captain. And I still believe that's one of the greatest honors that a guy can achieve and receive. For your teammates to vote and to think that highly of you says an awful lot. And I'll say this much, they got it right with Rob Batton.
He encompasses everything you ask for in a student athlete. He's on time, he's polite, he listens, he encourages his teammates. He's incredible at everything he does, and his work ethic is second to none.
I think what's really uncharacteristic of most people who are linemen is he will knock down his opponents and then quickly reach out and extend a hand and welcome them back up. So he's a tough competitor, but he's a kind heart in every definition of that word.
When I walked into Mrs. Larson to go see her, because she had told me she had to tell me about something, and she said that the teachers and coaches had decided to nominate me for this award, I was really honored because there are so many great athletes in my grade, and all of those athletes are smart. And so I was kind of taken aback.
He would have celebrated whomever it was that won it, but we will celebrate Rob and all that he has done to earn this reward, from his incredible scholarship and classroom efforts to his efforts on the field to, as importantly as any other, his efforts running our honor council.
He is one of the kids that over the course of the past approximately 30 years that has been an honor council president for 2 years in a row. That shows that the other students really depend on his leadership and trust him.
Leading that has been crucial to my development as a person. It's made me more empathetic and more understanding of others because I know that I make just as many mistakes as anyone else, and so helping others has been good for me.
He is a very supportive and kind person to these young people who are going through a hard time. He helps them emotionally through it, as well as understanding what they did wrong and how they can learn and grow from that.
Rob Batton represents everything that's good about high school football and the characters of a young man that we want here at Fort Worth Country Day. Across the country, people know what Davey O'Brien's about, and that's what we want to be about here at Fort Worth Country Day, and Rob Batton's the kind of guy that has led the way for us.
He is a very hardworking kid with immense talents, all of which would make anybody at a school proud. But the thing that has always made us most proud of Rob is who he is and how he treats others. His life is not about celebrating himself, it's about doing the best that he can in whatever he does, but then it's about bringing others up, bringing others along. He's done that as a teammate from middle school through high school, and no doubt he's going to continue doing that going forward, and we will remain exceptionally proud of Rob Batton being a Fort Worth Country Day Falcon.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rob Batton. This thing is so heavy. I told Rob that I don't think we've ever had a winner that herniated themselves, but it's a good idea to bend your knees when you pick it up.
Thank you, Mr. O'Brien, for the introduction, and thank you all for having me here tonight. Prior to coaching at Notre Dame, the legendary Lou Holtz was a coach at the University of Arkansas from 1977 to 1983. During his tenure at Arkansas, Coach Holtz achieved a record of 60, 21, and 2, leading the Hogs to 6 bowl games. In order to create the mentality necessary for his team to win, Holtz created hellish practices for his players, one of whom was my head football coach at Fort Worth Country Day, Keith Burns. Coach shared stories with us about how Holtz's practices didn't provide water for the players, and the intensity of the drills led the players to memorize the layout of the field's irrigation system so that they could suck the water off the ground from around the sprinklers. This intensity and dedication to sport made me curious about Coach Holtz, so I did a little research on him. In doing so, I came across an old speech of his. It was a short yet powerful speech, structured around the idea that throughout your life, there are 3 questions about you that people want to know. The first, can I trust you? A deeply important question. Second, do you care about me? Something I always want to know of those people I spend time with. And third, the question that spoke to me the most, are you committed to excellence? I found myself wondering, what does one do to commit to excellence? The more I thought about it, the more I realized that from a very young age, the pursuit of excellence was cultivated in me through a way as subtle as it was sure, and as common as it was precious. My commitment to excellence came through sports. I believe there are 2 things that go hand in hand with excellence, and sports teach both of them. The first is a physical and mental endurance, which drives people to push beyond the limits that they and others have placed on themselves. Some define it as toughness, others call it determination, and those are both accurate words. But if I had to choose one word that spells out that sentiment and that drive more than anything else, it would be grit. All caps, G-R-I-T. Grit is what pushes good to great. Grit is Rocky, standing inside the ice house, punching the sides of beef until there's blood on his hands. And most of it is from the meat, but everyone knows that some of it is his own. Grit is making a conscious decision to pursue greatness. It's how you train when no one is watching. It's seeing stars and gulping air when you get up from making a tackle, and still running back to the line of scrimmage to get down and ready again. While running sprints in the August heat, I probably wouldn't have told you that I'd miss feeling like my head was about to float off my body, but now I know it's true. Because of sports, I know what I'm capable of, and that will carry me through life. Because life is a wonderful gift, but it is not easy. The second thing that sports teach is leadership. Life is not a one-player game. Success is never achieved by a single man or woman. It is achieved by a group, a task force, a team working with synergy. But teams need leaders, and sports develop leaders in ways that few other things do. When many people think of leaders, they assume that leaders are simply the most skilled people. And though nearly all great leaders are skilled at what they do, I would argue that skill is not the only determinant of leaders, or even the most important. A true leader is the one who is most devoted, who has the most grit, and who pulls the team up by inspiring each person to be their most passionate self. Tonight, I have the privilege of being honored alongside 2 of the nation's finest leaders, 2 men that lean on and off the field, Max Duggan and Mr. Doug Flutie. When asked why he didn't leave after starting the season behind Chandler Morris, Max said that he knew something special was going to happen for TCU this year, and that his, quote, role was to be the best backup quarterback I could. He put his team above himself, and in doing so proved his status as a true leader. The city of Fort Worth, the state of Texas, and soon the nation would rally around the kid from Council Bluffs, Iowa, as he carried his team to a national championship game. Though the Horned Frogs came up short of winning the title, Max's leadership won the hearts of a nation and inspired the next generation of leaders. And everyone, of course, knows about Mr. Flutie's Hail Mary pass, a miraculous play. But when you're my age and that final play is all you've heard about, you can miss the bigger picture. As I watched the now famous BC-Miami game, I saw how Mr. Flutie's leadership put the Eagles in the position to win. Although luck was on their side on that final throw, number 22 led his team with a caliber of skill and determination that made that moment one of the greatest in sports history. Both men illustrate the true power that sports can have in the formation of leaders, Max, thank you for your leadership. It is an honor to be here with you. The biggest question I face now is, what will I do with what sports has taught me? For now, I'm going to finish high school and have a great track season. Next fall, I will be moving to Charlottesville to study at the University of Virginia. That's right. Where I will be pursuing my passion for poetry by studying creative writing. In college, I do have a goal of publishing a book, I'm not sure about the country western song, by the time I graduate. Though I'm uncertain of all that my future has in store for me, the one thing I'm sure of is that at some point in my life I will coach, to give back by teaching young men the lessons that I was blessed to learn through sports. The generous scholarship from the Davey O'Brien Foundation will lighten the financial burden of college, and for that, I give you my heartfelt thanks. But even more than the significant monetary benefit, I want to thank the O'Brien family and the foundation for allowing me to share in this legacy. I'm humbled to have my name associated with Davey O'Brien and these men beside me, and it is and will always be one of the greatest honors of my life. Thank you to Higginbotham and Simmons Bank for their generous sponsorship of the Foundation's high school scholarship. I would also like to thank the people that shaped my life. I'm the sum of all who invested in me, and I would not be who I am today without them. Thank you to my mom, Mama Bear. All right, lost that. Who's my #1 fan in everything I do. There isn't a day that goes by when I don't wonder where I would be without you. Thank you to my 2 younger sisters, Lauren and Kate, for making me laugh and always being there to support me. I will always be there for you. Thank you to my grandparents, Puddin', Doc, I'm not sure exactly where he is, he's somewhere over there, Susu, and Big Daddy. And to all my wonderful friends, family, and teammates. I want to thank all my coaches, but a few in particular. The aforementioned Coach Burns, a man's man if there ever was one. Coach Brockway and Coach Raines, who have coached me in football since middle school. And Coach Connaughton, my all-star Olympian track coach with a wealth of both knowledge and passion for the sport. But more than anyone else, I'm the man I am today because of 3 men in my life. And funny enough, they all happen to share the name Robert with me. The first is my dad, Robert Johnson Batton, my role model, guide, and friend. You taught me to lean into my faith and my family, to be a gentleman in all I do, and to be comfortable in everything from a deer blind to a black tie. The second is my grandfather, Robert Dennis Batton, who I have and always will call Doc, much to the confusion of my friends. You taught me the value of kindness and authenticity, and have instilled in me a sense of realistic optimism that carries me through life. The third is my coach, Robert Howard, my mentor in defensive line and shot put, but moreover, in life. You taught me that grit is not a lowercase word, and that there is no room in life for anything less than your best. Above all, I have my Lord Jesus Christ to thank for every opportunity and blessing given to me. I started off with a Lou Holtz story, so it's only fitting that I conclude with a Lou Holtz quote. I don't know what the future holds, but I know who holds the future. Even when the road before me is uncertain, I can lean into him. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and have a good night.
Rob, I don't know what to say. That, by the way, was a standing ovation. That's as good as it gets, my friend. Unbelievable. By the way, I want you to be aware of the fact, come November, Rob will be running for office. And I think he'll be a runaway winner wherever it might be. Outstanding. Continued success, and all the best at the University of Virginia. Thank you. We're proud to have you be a part of the family. Well done.